Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list, and this is my top 10 list of my favorite live-action comic book shows. Yes, in my last video I did my top 10 personal favorite animated comic book shows. This is the live-action part, and actually this is a much harder list, because honestly when it comes to the live-action comic book TV shows, there isn't a lot, and there isn't a lot of good ones either, and so it was a little hard to make a top 10 list, but I managed to do it, and yep, here it is. Here's my top 10 personal favorite live-action comic book shows. Here we go. Coming in number 10 is Smallville. Yes, Smallville. Somebody save me. Maybe Zero, if you know that song. But yeah. Yeah, Smallville. I grew up with Smallville. Smallville has nostalgia for me because I watched Smallville from season 1 all the way to season 10. Yes, I watched the whole thing on the CW, and yeah, I loved this show when I was younger. Now it's okay, it's fine, like, it's fine. It made the top 10 list because it has nostalgia for me. I loved this when I was younger. Now, I find it a very flawed show, but I guess a fun, flawed show, and it's fine. Like, it's the story of Superman, if you don't know, and basically his life as a teenager, all the way him working up to Superman, and yeah, I wish there was more Superman story. Like, seasons 1 to 4, you can kind of skip. It's all, like, teen drama kind of shit with some sci-fi elements to it. Season 5, it gets a little better. That's when it brings in Aether, Namek, and General Zod. Season 5 to 10, it's when it gets more juicy, and it actually brings the Superman story into the show, but all in all, it's a fine show. I didn't really like a lot of the characters, you know, like Chloe, Lois, Lana. I hated those characters. I watched the show mostly for, like, Clark, because Tom Welling was good, and Michael Rosenbaum was great as Lex Luthor, and I watched it mostly for them, too, and I hated that they were friends through most of the show. I wanted them to be enemies. This is Clark and Lex, Superman, Lex Luthor. Come on, they're supposed to have, like, this rivalry. And their friendship was actually viable, and when they became enemies, it was even more viable. And when the show kept going, like in the final season of Smallville is the best season of Smallville. That's when it's a straight up, it actually feels like a Superman TV show. Like, he fights Darkseid, he goes into the multi-universe where Ultraman is, and a lot of shit happens. Like, he fights Metallo and all the great Superman villains. It actually feels like a Superman show, and it ended the show very well. Perfect ending to the show. It took so long, like, it's 10 seasons, it's very long. It should have just started at season 5 and just went all the way to 10. It should have just been 5 seasons. The 5th season should have been the first season. You know, a little more character development, and, you know, that's how it should have went, because the first 4 seasons is just teen shit. Like, it's just teen drama with some Superman elements to it, but that's not what I want. I wanted a straight-up Superman TV show, and I sort of got that. I know it seems like I'm bashing the show, but I don't hate the show. It's a fine show. Like, I loved it when I was watching it when it was on TV, but now when I see it, it's very flawed, and it's not like a straight-up Superman thing. It's a teen drama with Superman in it. So, yeah. So, it's a good show. Like, if you want to watch it, watch season 5 to 10. That's how you should watch it. Coming number 9 is Middleman. I'm not going to go into details with Middleman. All I'm going to say is it's a good show. Watch it right now. It's very corny. It's very silly. It's a lot meant for kids, but adults can watch it too. I love the characters, love the writing. Got canceled after the first season. I didn't like that, but it's a good show. Check out Middleman. Middleman, it's really good. Coming number 8 is Tales from the Crypt. Yes, Tales from the Crypt. And yeah, the opening to this show is awesome. Very cool, spooky, great tracking shot, and an excellent way to begin a show. I love the Crypt Keeper, and I love the makeup on him and how creepy he is. He used to scare the shit out of me as a kid, and I love, this show is just basically a bunch of short stories, and they're all like horror stories, almost like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I actually think Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark are better shows, but I do like Tales from the Crypt, and they're very loyal to the source material of the comic books. I used to actually read the little comic strips when I was younger, and I like Tales from the Crypt. It has a lot of nostalgia for me. It's a little cheesy, and it's not really scary to adults, but kids might get a little creeped out by it, so yeah, check it out if you're interested. Coming number 7 is Batman. Yes, Adam West's Batman. Oh my god, it's Mr. Freeze! Bam, pow, whoa, what? Holy ashtrays, Batman! This show is so stupid. This is so dumb. Show is ridiculous. I freaking love it, though. This show is like the biggest of ultimate guilty pleasure shows. It's retarded. It's so stupid. It's so silly. It's so over the top, but I can't help but love it. It's just so ridiculous, but so awesome. Adam West is great as Batman, this very silly and over-the-top Batman. Oh my god, Mr. Freeze, the Joker has attacked the city. We have to beat him. God, God, I was just so over the top of this show, and everybody's over the top. Like, they got Cesar Romero to play Joker. That's how over the top this damn show is. They got Eartha Kitt in it, too, and like, oh my god. This show is unbelievably ridiculous, but I love it. It's silly, it's ridiculous. This show is just not meant to be taken seriously. Like, Batman and Robin almost try to play homage to this, but I got more pissed off at Batman and Robin, because Batman and Robin it's stupid and kind of funny to laugh at, but that movie was actually meant to be taken seriously. This show was not meant to be taken seriously at all. This was straight up for the kids, and I loved it as a kid, and I find it hilarious now. So yeah, Adam West Batman, awesome. Pow! Coming number 6 is Agent Carter. Yes, Marvel's Agent Carter, starring Haley Atwell. Story of this show is basically right after Captain America, the first Avenger, Agent Peggy Carter, and this is her life after that incident. And basically, she's an agent working with Howard Stark's servant, Jarvis. Yeah, Jarvis, haha. Basically, they're working on and doing some spy shit, trying to unlock the secrets of Hydra. And basically, that's all that's really going down so far. It's only 8 episodes the first season. Season 2 is coming out, and I am actually curious to see what happens in Season 2. This is actually a pretty good comic book show. I do like Agent Carter, and I think Haley Atwell is fantastic. She's great in all these movies. Like, she's a little bit in Ant-Man. She's great in the Captain America movies, and she just eats this role up. Every time I see Agent Peggy Carter, I think of Haley Atwell. And every time I see Haley Atwell in other movies, I'm like, hey, it's Agent Peggy Carter. She's just great, and I thought the show would be stupid because Chad Michael Murray's in it. I hate Chad Michael Murray, but he's actually not that bad in the show. He's not bad. And Dominic Cooper's a little bit in it as Howard Stark. He's great. And I like the show. It's a fun, good little spy show. It feels like an old school spy movie, and it's great. I do like it. I like it better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not on this list. I know a lot of people like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched enough of it to put it on the top 10 list. I watched the first few episodes. Couldn't get into it. Who knows? It might be a good show. Maybe I'll check it out down the road. But so far, I haven't seen enough of it to put it on the top 10 list. But I heard it's good, but I like Agent Carter better. I've watched the first season. Excited for Season 2, and yeah, it's a good show. Check it out. Coming number 5 is The Walking Dead. Previously on The Walking Dead. Yes, I love zombies. I love zombie movies. And I love they made a show about zombies. I even love zombie animes. But yeah, yes, a zombie show. Awesome idea. This show is great. It's kind of dwindling down a little bit. Like this last season that just passed was okay, was fine. First season, freaking knocked it out of the park. Just great. Season 2, not as good, but it was still fine. Season 3, big improvement. Season 4, awesome. This season, Season 5, it's okay. Like, I feel like they were kind of running out of ideas. I feel like they have to end this show pretty soon because it's gonna lose its edge and its vibe because basically a lot of the show is just about them surviving and killing zombies. That's fun at first, but you have to give me more. Like, I like what they're going through with some of these characters and some of the backstories of these characters. A lot of these characters are really awesome characters and very interesting and fascinating and very three-dimensional. I love Daryl. I love Michonne. I love even Carl and Rick and Glenn, Maggie. I love all those characters. And some characters have died throughout the show, and some of them you're glad they're dead, but some of them you're like, it's because you care about them. And the show does make you care about some of these characters, and I do like blood and guts. The kills in the show are just awesome to watch, and every week I have to watch and see what's happening on Walking Dead. It's dwindling a bit, but I still think it's still a great show with some good writing and some pretty good practical effects, and I'm always on the edge of my seat when I watch this show, and I hope it gets better in Season 6, and I hope they kind of end it soon, because, you know, if your show's on top, end it when it's on top. Don't wait for it to slowly go down to end it. End when you're on top, because it's a good show. End it when it's still a good show. Coming number 4 is iZombie. Yes, this is kind of based off, loosely off a graphic novel, but I'm going to count it. I loved this show. This show just came out in like February, January or something. I watched it, freaking loved it. I was going to do a TV review on it, but I didn't have the time, so whatever. I'm talking about it now. It's great. It's awesome. It's about this character named Liv Moore. Liv Moore. Yes, she gets turned into a zombie, and basically she works at the morgue. Basically, that gets her free brains, but in this show, when you eat brains, you get the memories of all those people you eat the brains of. And basically, she uses her powers, her brain-eating powers, to help a detective out to basically solve murders. Basically, when someone gets murdered, she eats their brains and tries to figure out who the killer is with this detective. And this show is really weird and strange, but I love it. It's from the same creator of Veronica Mars, and Veronica Mars It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love Veronica Mars. Rob Thomas, creator of Veronica Mars, did this show, and it's very snappy like Veronica Mars, and has a great lead character like Veronica Mars. It's not as good as Veronica Mars, but it's close. It's really good. I really like the show. I love these characters. I love how the show ended. I'm like, oh my god, can't wait for season 2. And I know some people are kind of getting sick of the zombie thing, but honestly, this show is good. Check it out. Even if you're not into zombies, still check the show out. It's very good, very funny, and it's got these really likable characters. I love these characters. If you watch the show, you'll fall in love with these characters. They're great. Coming number 3 is Arrow. Yes, Arrow is the story of Oliver Queen as Green Arrow. And basically, it's about him getting off the island and basically him becoming a vigilante to save his city, Starling City. Basically, this actually does 2 parts. The show is about him becoming Green Arrow, saving people, and being a vigilante, but it also keeps going back to him on the island, surviving on the island. That's how it is for the first 2 seasons. Season 3, he kind of gets off the island, and he works for Amanda Waller. Basically, it's about 2 stories about Oliver Queen, about him in the present being Green Arrow, and one's about him in the past, like 7 years ago, him on the island, surviving and everything, what he went through. This show is really good. I loved the show. I was a little skeptical about the show, because Smallville just ended. I'm like, oh, is this going to be just like Smallville? Honestly, I watched it. It's much better than Smallville. The first season is good. I like him on the island stuff, but it's not as good as season 2 and 3. I find the first season, it does what Smallville does. It has a lot of teen drama, kind of romance shit, and I hate it. I hate the character Laurel. Katie Cassidy, she's a good actress, but can't stand that character. And I don't like Speedy, yes, his sister. Oh, she's annoying in this show. But I do like other characters. I like Roy. I love Oliver. Felicity and Deagle and Oliver are the 3 best characters. In season 3, they introduced more characters, and they're awesome. And I just really like the show. It just feels like Green Arrow, and the flashbacks with him on the island, and him with Amanda Waller. And also, they have the Suicide Squad in this. It's awesome. And this just feels like a straight-up Green Arrow show, and it's much better. This show basically did what Smallville didn't do. It actually made a real-life superhero show on the CW, because I know Smallville was on the CW, but try to be so much like a teen show other than a superhero show. This show is meant for teens a little bit, but it is also meant for superhero fans. This is a superhero show first, then kind of a teen show, but yeah, I love it. Stephen Amell is great as Oliver Queen. Can't wait for season 4. A lot of shit happened in season 3 with the Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows. That was awesome. And yeah, it's a great show. Great action, great characters, and just an all-along great superhero show. Love it. Coming number 2 is The Flash. Yes, The Flash just ended. Holy crap, this show was amazing. This show just shocked the living shit out of me. When I found out they were making a Flash show, I'm like, oh, here we go. They're going to do the Smallville thing, you know, some teen show with the powers, and oh my god, this is going to be lame. Actually, this show is actually better than Arrow. This show was fucking great. I don't know much about The Flash, but this show taught me a lot about The Flash. This show is great because it teaches you a lot about the character Flash and Barry Allen and everything. This show is amazing. This show is so good. This show is actually not just about Flash, but it's about time travel and all that shit. And it dives deep into these characters, and it's a very good show. I love it. I love the actor that plays Barry Allen. He's great. I love the Reverse Flash, and you find out who the Reverse Flash is. That's pretty good. And I love his 2 sidekicks, Jennifer and Cisco. Cisco, awesome. Love Cisco. Constantly doing the movie references and awesome. I love it. I love the villains. I love that Mark Hamill's in this show. The ending to this show, though, the end of the first season that just passed, holy, I cried like 3 times. It's just so freaking sad. A lot of sad shit happens, and oh my god, can't wait for season 2, and I can't believe, like, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, some other Flashes are going to come, I think, in this show. That's all I'm going to say, but The Flash, amazing. Apparently, Arrow is not the best CW superhero show, because I'm going to give that to The Flash. Even though Arrow has more seasons, Flash knocked it out of the park in the first season. Arrow's first season was okay, but The Flash first season, oh my god, it's better than everything Arrow's done. It's amazing. Flash, awesome. And my number 1 favorite live-action comic book TV show is Daredevil. Of course, Daredevil. I'm not going to talk in depth with Daredevil, but I'm going to leave a link down below. I did a TV review of Daredevil a few months ago. I'm going to leave the link down below. Watch that review. That I went into complete details with it. It's like a 12-minute video. Talked about how much I loved the show and how it's like one of the best comic book TV shows ever made. It actually is, and it's awesome. I love this show. This show is great. Charlie Cox is great. Vincent D'Onofrio is great. Everyone is great. Rosario Dawson's great. This is a very good, dark, gritty version of Daredevil. So good. Love these characters. Love these actors. The writing is amazing. The direction is amazing. Drew Goddard did an amazing job. Love this show. This is my favorite comic book TV show ever. It's amazing. Watch it. So yeah, that was my top 10 personal favorite live-action comic book TV shows. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, give me your top 10 personal favorite live-action comic book shows. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.